Hey guys, I watched The Super last night on Netflix, and if you've watched this movie, this is a spoiler alert movie. I have a question about the movie and I would love to discuss it with you guys because nobody in my life is going to see this movie. I'm just being honest with you. And I have to talk about the ending. And I would just love to get your thoughts on this as well. So this is spoiler. Do not watch this movie if you don't watch this film if you haven't seen the movie. So we know at the end of The Super, we come to find out that Rose, the child, ends up being the person that is sort of controlling her father, Phil Lodge. And she's the one that is causing all this dismay, right? All the trouble. It's not Walter. We all think it's Val Kilmer. I thought it was Val Kilmer the whole entire movie. And then at one point, there's this huge twist. And in the end, it's Rose. We got to talk about this because to me, I was sitting there going, what about this? What about this? What about this? And there's so many times, and I'm really so lucky to have so many people that are commenting and giving their input. And I really am so thankful for it that I would love to have you guys help me with this moment if you've seen The Super. There's so many questions. So first of all, in the beginning of the movie, Rose is seen with this little toy with the two eyes and the mouth and the beads. And I knew in the beginning of the movie that once that third bead made it into the mouth, something was going to happen. Because I even said it to my husband. I was like, uh-oh, what's going to happen when the third bead goes in? And of course, when the third bead went in, it was able to somehow control her father. Did at any point we learn how that was to be? Why was that toy so special? So I guess that's question number one. Like, what about that toy? How is that toy a conduit? Like, I'm saying, like, what about that toy? Did they reference anything about that toy in real life? Is that toy somehow linked to an evil spirit that is helping her be more evil? Is that what made her evil when she was alive? Did something reference that in the movie that I somehow missed? Because that to me was a missed opportunity. I really would have loved to hear more about that toy. Number two, when they were alive, Phil Lodge, what a name, said that Rose killed the mother because she was going to punish her. And then Phil killed Rose because he was so upset that she killed his wife. And then the way I understood it was that he was sort of linked to her either out of remorse or guilt or self-punishment for himself for killing his own daughter. Is that why he couldn't get out of her control? Was he willingly doing all these things? Or was he being forced to do these things because of this little toy that he had? Like could he have said no at any time, or was the toy controlling him? And if the toy was controlling him, how is it controlling him? Third question, was that really Rose? Like, is it Rose? Is it the daughter? Was it really the daughter? And if so, why on earth would the daughter have so much power? Why would her spirit ever have so much power to control human life? Wouldn't she need to be some sort of demon or have some like top level ability? She was just a child when she died. So wouldn't something have had to happen in order for her to have this crazy ability to be able to control somebody to that capacity? Did I miss it? I need you to help me because I don't want to watch an hour 50 of this movie again. But those three things, like when it ended, I was like, wait a second. I'm off. I am off on these things, and I would love to get some help on those three things. Because, I mean, I have to be honest with you, Val Kilmer, when I was watching that movie, I enjoyed him. I liked him a lot. Like, I was like, he's playing this really well. He's super creepy. I think he's a pedophile. Like, he's gross. He made me not like him. So I was like, okay, he's doing it. I like him. Phil Lodge, what a name. Whenever Phil was on the scene, I was like, okay, cool. I like him. I got it. I did not know for the whole movie that Rose wasn't real. And the only time that made me question about Rose for a half a second was when Phil went to his older daughter and was like, where's Rose? And then when she reacted so negatively and she went, you know where she is. And she was so angry. And I went, why would she answer like that? That's weird. She wasn't trying to protect her. She wasn't trying to help find her. She was angry about her. And then when she answered that way, I said, something is way off about this. And then I said, he's the bad guy. Right at that moment, I said it. So I said, he's the one that I have to look out for. So in that second, I was like, oh my gosh, flip this whole thing on the side. He's the bad guy. That's the second I knew that the father was the bad guy. When she said, you know where she is. And I went, oh my gosh, I was wrong. Right there. But then when the whole movie ended, and then she was like, no, wait, I want a mommy. When Rose said that at the end, and then the poor Louise, or whatever, what was the girl's name? Louisa, she was like kidnapped, this poor woman. She couldn't leave because she knows that the little girl's going to kill her. I was like, okay, wait a second. This doesn't make sense. So now the father's basically trapped with this girl. Now Louise is trapped with this girl. Thank God the other sister can't see her because at least she's still safe. And what are they going to do? They're just going to all walk out of this apartment building and just run for the rest of their lives? I guess so. But those are my hard questions. I hope you've seen the movie. I'm just really, you don't understand. I just want to say one thing before I hang this up. This channel brings me so much joy because when I read the comments, the answers, like the questions that you guys answer me, you don't understand. There's not any, I don't have like one person in my life that watches these movies. I'm the outsider of my life. Like, my friends don't do this. My friends are like, Hallmark, rom-com, and all these things. And so I'm sort of like, cool, I want to go watch Halloween. And everyone's like, oh, I don't want to do that. And then I end up having to wait till it comes home so I can watch it on the TV. So now I started this channel, and then I get to talk about this, and people are actually replying and answering, and I just cannot get over it. It is the most joy that I'm getting in my life. So thank you so much for this, because I feel like I could actually talk to people about things that I like. So this is super cool. So if you know any of these questions, I would really appreciate it. Leave me a comment. And that's it. Until next time.